Let me say this real quick. I got to ask y'all a question. 76er fans all around the world. Will the Philadelphia 76ers beat the Raptors tonight? This is a must win. And I feel like if they don't win this game, the season is over. If the Sixers do not win this game against a Raptors team that they don't even have Brandon Ingram for this game, they made a trade. And I'm a little confused about the Raptors because they traded for Brandon Ingram and he's due for a contract. So maybe he's in their plans for the future. I will hope so if they gave up a future first-round pick. But the Raptors are 16-37. The Sixers are 20-32. It's not much of a difference in record if you really think about it. 16-37 compared to 20-32 is not that much of a difference. But in my opinion, I feel like the Philadelphia 76ers should be able to beat this Raptors team. What do they have? What do the Raptors really have right now? They got Scotty Barnes, Agbaji. If I jacked his name up, my bad. They got Mogbo, Emmanuel Quickly, Chris Boucher. RJ Barrett. I'm not sure if RJ Barrett's going to play. But Brandon Ingram's not playing. So, honestly, there should be no excuses. This should be a definite dub for the Sixers. No reason why the Sixers should lose this game against the Raptors. The Raptors, I will say, Scotty Barnes, I like Scotty Barnes a lot. I think Scotty Barnes is a very good player. He's averaging 19 points. But in my honest opinion, he can't be the best player on a championship caliber team. Scotty Barnes could probably be the second or third, maybe the third. I think the third. He's more of a third option in my opinion. But on this team right now, he's going to be the second option when Brandon Ingram finally gets healthy. But my honest opinion, I feel like Scotty Barnes, he's a good player though. He's good on both sides of the ball. He plays offense and defense. But I just don't see the Sixers losing. And when it comes to the Sixers, when it comes to like the starting lineup and who's in and who's out, I know Kyle Lowry's out for tonight's game, and I will be live on this channel, Mike Sports Vibes Ball, and I will be live. Shout out to my guy Grasshopper. Barnes going to cook PG. Yeah, man, that's a big possibility, bro. That's a big possibility. I can see that. Everybody cooks PG at this point. Not trying to be mean, but everybody cooks PG. But, for Joel Embiid, he's questionable. Joel Embiid is questionable for tonight's game. And it's crazy because every time I go play-by-play, I always, put Tyrese Maxey in the thumbnail because he's the only star on the Sixers that's consistently playing. Everybody else is hurt almost all the time. Joel Embiid is questionable because of his knee management. His knee be swelling up. And my whole thing about Joel Embiid, in my honest opinion, the Sixers should consider really just go get your surgery, rest up, and be back for next season. Because at this point, it's starting to be all right, he's questionable for every single game. You know what I mean? He's always going to be on the injury report. And it's kind of sad in my opinion. I love Joel, but it's kind of sad. You might need to shut him down, but we're going to see how this season turns out. But Scotty Barnes is the only player, in my honest opinion. Scotty Barnes is the only player that can do damage to us. The only thing I can say, Emmanuel Quickly, I think he's a solid guard as well. But if the Sixers are healthy, even though this is what's crazy. I said this before, the Sixers are healthy, they should be able to win, right? But every time I say that, the Sixers lose. So I don't know if I should even say this is a definite win. But what I will say is this is a must win. Against a Raptors team without Brandon Ingram, we should be able to win. Paul George got to step up and be going to be on, for real though. Paul George got to step his game up. I need to see more from him. Tyrese Maxey's going to have to do his thing. Joel Embiid, my biggest thing is this. The only way I can see the Raptors winning this game is if they out-rebound the Sixers. And that's not hard to do because the Sixers are one of the worst teams rebounding in the whole NBA. There's so many possessions throughout a game where there'll be, defensive rebounds are so important, right? And the opposing team gets like 4 offensive rebounds on 1 offensive possession. You know what I mean? Phillip pick number 1 draft in 2025. I don't think they're not going to be able to get that pick, though. They're not going to be able to get the first overall pick. The record ain't bad enough. I think the Wizards, they got the highest percentage to get that number 1 pick. But I don't think the Sixers, and the only way the Sixers keep their pick is if they have to pick between 1 and 6. If they don't pick between 1 and 6, that pick goes to the Thunder. If they don't pick 1 through 6. So we'll see what happens with that, but hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We cover the Sixers and we cover the Phillies on this channel. Shout out to everybody that's in the building. Hopefully y'all having a wonderful morning. God bless. But this is a must-win for the Sixers. The Sixers have to win this game. If the Sixers don't win this game, the season is over. The season is over. They might as well just chalk it up and say, yeah, man, just let it be. Just let it be at that point. Just let Joel Embiid get his surgery, be gone for the year. If they lose to the Raptors tonight, and I will be live on this channel at 7 o'clock, Hornets pick number 1 trade for, oh, shoot, Hornets pick number, yeah, I would. Well, the thing about it, Lucas, we can't trade Joel Embiid because his contract didn't start. His extension didn't start yet, so we can't even trade Joel Embiid even if we wanted to. We could have traded Paul George, but we can't now. We got to wait till the offseason. But when his contract starts, then you could trade Joel Embiid. But we'll see what happens with Joel. It's just unfortunate because it's like, and then I think about Zion, you know what I mean? The Hornets, oh my gosh, the Hornets. You're talking about the Hornets. I'm thinking about the Pelicans. But the Hornets, man, I would try to, if I was the GM of the Sixers, right? Say I'm Daryl Morey. If I could trade with the Hornets if in this offseason, first and foremost, this is what I would do. Depending on what player they want the most. If they want Joel Embiid the most, if they want PG the most. But they got to take one of them, right? I would try to get rid of PG before I get rid of Joel Embiid because I think Joel Embiid is so much better. But if I was the GM, I would talk to the Hornets and say, yo, I'll give you Paul George, a first-round pick or whatever. I'm keeping Tyrese, you know what I mean? I'm not getting rid of Jerry McCain. I want LaMelo Ball. Bring LaMelo Ball to the Sixers, man. This is my dream case scenario. I've been saying this. I'm probably the only Sixer fan that's delusional enough to say, yo, try to get LaMelo Ball in Philly, bro. And I know he's injury-prone as well. That's the only problem with LaMelo Ball. But this offseason's big, man. But before the offseason, we got the rest of the season. We're going to see how the rest of the season turns out to be. You know, the All-Star break is coming up, and we're going to see what we're looking like. But we go against the Raptors tonight at 7 o'clock. It's the Raptors are 16-37. The Sixers are 20-32. And I'm curious, can the Sixers beat the Raptors? Short-handed Raptors. Definitely must win. Bordering the game. Yeah. Hold on, let me get this guy out the chat. This guy. But yeah. But shout out to everybody that's in the building, man. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Consider subscribing. I cover the Sixers and I cover the Phillies on this channel. But shout out to everybody in the building. Like I'm a little nervous about this game because I'm nervous about every game at this point when it comes to the Sixers because the Sixers just haven't been consistent. We didn't build team chemistry because we're always hurt. And I'm debating with somebody in the comments, the guy, I don't know what his name is, but and I respectfully disagree with his opinion. But this man said that Tyrese Maxey isn't a point guard. He's not a good point guard. He doesn't make anybody better. And I was telling him, what more can Tyrese Maxey do? What more can Tyrese Maxey do when Paul George ain't playing and he ain't playing good? Joel Embiid ain't playing and he's not playing good. You know, Tyrese Maxey's been the best player on the Sixers all season long. You have Yabusele, you do have Kelly Oubre Jr., but I feel like Tyrese Maxey's been on one for the last few weeks, man. I think he should have been an all-star. Embiid not consistent. Embiid not consistent, and Embiid's always hurt. And the reason why Embiid is not consistent, because I think he's one of the best players when healthy, It's honestly because Embiid is always hurt. If Embiid wasn't hurt so much, he would be one of the greatest. He would be top 5 player easily in the NBA right now. If he wasn't always hurt. People forget the MVP season. People forget how good he is because he's always hurt. The man missed the whole season pretty much. He only played like 11 games this season. If he played every game this season and he got the chemistry with Tyrese Maxey and Paul George, even though Paul George isn't balling this year, the Sixers will at least be a top 5 seed. They'll at least be a top 5 seed in the Eastern Conference. We're not even in the playoffs because of how bad like the injury bug's been. Like if you think about it, like as a Sixer fan, right? Jared McCain, like who's a Sixer fan in the chat? Who watches the Sixers? Or who's just a basketball fan in the chat? Have y'all seen what Jared McCain was doing early on in the season? Jared McCain would have been the rookie of the year. This man was destroying people. He was hitting people with the step back midi. He was shooting the three, a good free throw shooter. He was breaking down defenders off the dribble. He's a very underrated passer. I'm talking about Jared McCain from Duke, out of Duke, man. The Sixers first round pick. He teared his meniscus, bro. And at one point in the season, it was Jared McCain and Tyrese Maxey's show. Jared McCain was running the point. Tyrese Maxey was playing the 2. He was playing the shooting guard position because Jared McCain is more of a natural point. Not saying that Tyrese Maxey can't play point, because Tyrese Maxey can definitely play point, but he's not a natural point guard. He can do it, though. Don't get it twisted. He can do it. But Jared McCain is more of a natural facilitator. But him getting hurt, then you got to rely on Kyle Lowry. Then you got to rely on Reggie Jackson. That put us back, man. That put us back big time. As a Sixer fan, that put us back big time, man. Jared McCain would have been the rookie of the year, bro. Maxey is a breath of fresh. Yes, for y'all. Save Sixers. Yeah. If it wasn't for Maxey, we would be nowhere right now. Maxey should be. And right. Thank you. Somebody finally said it. Everybody in the building, make sure you hit that like button to spread out the content. If you are a Sixer fan or a basketball fan, consider subscribing to your Bull, Mike Sports Vibes Baller. Subscribe to the channel. I will be live again at 7 o'clock to do the play-by-play Sixers versus the Raptors. But it's definitely going down. I love that comment. Maxey should have been an all-star. Yes. Like, and look, and I said this before. I said, now I'm not trying to come at, what's his name? Tyler Hero. I'm not coming at Tyler Hero. He's a very good player. But Tyler Hero ain't playing better than Tyrese Maxey right now, bro. We're gonna stop that cap right now. We're going to stop that cap right now. You can look at the numbers and everything. But it goes by, oh, my bad. It goes by the record as well, how good the team is. But Tyrese Maxey, I was like so surprised to hear someone say he can't play point guard. I was like, what? I said, respectfully, I disagree with you, but I just feel like Tyrese Maxey's been on one. And he's been passing the ball pretty well. He's been playing he's been playing awesome. I think he has, how many games with 25 plus points? I think 11 games with 25 plus points in a row or something like that. Tyrese Maxey's been playing so outstanding. So I was really surprised when someone said he can't play point guard. I'm like, huh? No, he's not the traditional point guard like a Chris Paul or like someone of that caliber or Steve Nash or Stockton or somebody back in the day like that, but he's the modern day point guard. He's a hybrid point guard that can facilitate and score the ball at will. Tyrese Maxey can do anything. Nobody can stop Tyrese, man. And he's an underrated passer too. But I was really surprised when someone said, oh, Tyrese Maxey can't play point. I'm like, what? That's crazy. And people are not taking into consideration the reason why it's harder for him, because if your two stars are hurt, right? If your two superstars, well, I'll say Joel Embiid's a superstar when healthy. Paul George is a glorified role player, but he's supposed to be a star because he's paid like a dang on all-star. But if two of your players, $400 million is not playing, right? Everybody's trying to guard you. They're trying to double team you to get the ball out your hand. It's going to be harder for you. You know what I mean? But if you had someone to take some of that pressure off, like a Joel Embiid that's demanding a double team, even right now, Joel Embiid's not even Joel Embiid's not even Joel Embiid anymore. Like when it comes to his play right now, he's still not in rhythm yet. You know what I mean? And people still double team Joel Embiid because of his presence on the basketball court. You know what I mean? So if that's the case, right? Imagine if he was there the whole season. And that's how I be trying to tell people, like, it's so many more factors. The reason why Tyrese Maxey was struggling from three, he was struggling from three earlier in the season, but he got it together. He's back in rhythm and all that. But it's not like the man just disappeared. Like, it's because he don't have all his people. That's just how I look at it. That's the only reason why Tyrese Maxey isn't an all-star this season, because we didn't have all our players all season. And if we would have had all our players all season, we will be in the playoffs. And then that means he will be an all-star over over definitely Tyler Hero. Definitely over Tyler Hero. But I give Garland that because Garland is a monster. I like Garland. But shout out to everybody that's in the building, man. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Man, this is a must-win for the Sixers, man. The Raptors are not good. I don't see how for them to have Brandon Ingram is going to be out for this game. I wonder what's wrong with Brandon Ingram. Like I wonder what's wrong with Brandon Ingram. I like Brandon Ingram. I think Brandon Ingram on the right team. I don't think Brandon Ingram could be your number one option though. That's just my opinion. I don't think Brandon Ingram could be your number one option if you're trying to be a championship caliber team. And I don't think Scotty Barnes is a number one option. So I'm not really sure what the Raptors are trying to do, what they're doing. I know they're super athletic. I know they got some talented players on their team, but I was so surprised that the Raptors traded for Brandon Ingram. You know, they would have been... I like Brandon Ingram, though. I think he could be probably like a second option on a championship caliber team, but not the first option. But in my honest opinion, I think Brandon Ingram is the best player on the Raptors right now. And then Scotty Barnes is number two. And I love Scotty Barnes, but the Raptors is just not a good team right now. So I don't see how we can possibly lose this game. I don't see how we can possibly lose this game right now. The Eastern Conference is not as strong as the West. So I understand why teams are trying to make a late run. Maybe the Raptors, they're 16-37. If they go on a crazy run, they could possibly get in the play-in tournament. But that's the only reason why I would think they would make that trade. Or for Brandon Ingram. I think Grady Dick is a pretty good point guard. A good shooter. But we can't lose to this team, man. We cannot lose to this team. We lose to this team, I don't know, man. I don't even know anymore about the Sixers. If we lose to the dang on Raptors tonight, and best believe I will be live. I'm going to bring, you know what I mean? I'm going to bring the energy. I'm going to bring the passion, even though win or lose, diehard Sixer fan regardless of what happens. But at the same time, in between time, the Sixers can't be losing against teams that don't even got their best player playing. We did that with the Bucks. We lost to the Bucks. We did that with the Mavericks. You know what I mean? We keep losing to everybody, bro. Like to teams that we should possibly be beating. They find a way to lose every game, not worried about it no more. Lost hope this season after Pistons game. The Pistons game. That's what I meant to say. The Pistons game, yeah. See, the only issue though, drop offline. The only thing that I have to say, right, is the Eastern Conference is so weak in like the lower seeds. Yeah, we could get in the play-in tournament. I'm not saying we'll beat the Cavs. We're not beating the Cavs now. I'm not saying we beating the Celtics either. But I don't know, man. It's just the always what if factor if we was healthy. But I get what you're saying. I did have a small type of like hope to go against the Cavs in the first round and beat the Cavs, 8th seed versus the 1st seed. But now since they made a DeAndre Hunter trade, I don't see that the Sixers can stand up against the Cavs right now. Not even close. Not even close. They're nowhere close to the Cavs right now. Nope. So and then the Celtics, I be feeling like up and down about the Celtics. Like beating the Celtics, it's like 1 minute they look like world beaters, like they're the best team in the NBA. Next minute, if they not hitting their threes, They rely on their threes so much. If they're not hitting their threes, they could possibly lose. But the problem is their defense is so elite, so it's hard to make a crazy run on the Boston Celtics. Now, I mean, even though we almost beat the Celtics, you know what I mean? We beat them on Christmas Day. We almost beat them recently. I think we just had we just had Tyrese Maxey. We were beating the brakes off of the Celtics, and then they came back in the fourth quarter, and Jason Tatum took over. But I sense weakness in the Celtics. I think we could possibly beat the Celtics, maybe if we was healthy and we get a couple of calls, we get lucky. But we're not beating the Cavs. I don't feel like the East is that strong though. It's really the Cavs, the Celtics, and everybody else. Cavs, Celtics, everybody else. And we'll see what happens from there. But when you think about the standings, there ain't nobody in the Eastern Conference that really. That's why I say we got a chance if we didn't have to play against the Celtics or the Cavs the first round. But the way things has turned out to be, like you said, bro, like losing to the dang on Pistons, it's like without Cade Cunningham, that was devastating because you're like, how you lose to the Pistons, Detroit Pistons, and not just lose. They didn't just lose. They got their butts whooped. Like, they got destroyed by the Pistons. The Pistons, man, that was the most embarrassing loss for the Sixers this whole season. The most embarrassing loss, hands down. To lose to the Pistons like that was embarrassing. Look, and we had Paul George, Joel Embiid, and Tyrese Maxey, and got the brakes beat off of us. So that was an embarrassing performance by the Sixers in that game. So I agree with how you feel, man. I understand how you feel. It sucks, man. It sucks. I just feel like the Eastern Conference is so weak. It's just so weak that if a team gets hot, they get chemistry late in the season, they could win the East, man. It's going to be a hard battle against the Celtics and the Cavs, but everybody else, man, everybody can be got. Everybody can be beat besides the Cavs and the Celtics in the first round. Like, I don't see the Pacers I don't see the teams in the Eastern Conference is nowhere close to the West. Now, it'd be different if we was in the Western Conference. Like, you're not going to win the first round no matter what in the West. But in the Eastern Conference, I think it's up in the air. But let me just get back to this game real quick, man. So the Raptors versus Sixers. Do you think the Sixers can finally get a win that they need? Much needed win. Must win game against the Raptors tonight. I will be live on this channel, Mike Sports Vibes Ballin' at 7 o'clock Eastern Time p.m. to do a play-by-play. Can the Sixers get back in their winning ways and finally beat a team that they should beat? You know what I mean? Can they do it? Can the Sixers do it? I think they can, but just because I think they can doesn't mean they will. Because they have everybody healthy depending on if Joel Embiid plays. You know, Joel Embiid is questionable for tonight's game. But even without Joel Embiid, I feel like you should be able to win. But this is what's going to happen. That's why I don't like saying that we're going to win, because every time I say we're going to win, we mess around and lose. So we'll see what happens. But shout out to everybody that's in the building, man. I truly appreciate y'all. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Have a wonderful day. And as always, God bless and be easy. I'm out.